So JoJo Siwa is a trad wife now? She got with one bisexual man? And there's no more rainbows, no more bows, no more stars, no more like Lisa Frank vibes. Now she gets up at 5 in the morning, does laundry, cleans her whole house, and drinks out of a mug with a picture of her and Chris.
TikTok, what the heck is going on? No, seriously, what the heck is going on? Why are we having genuine conversations on whether JoJo Siwa, this JoJo Siwa, is now a trad wife? Has she made content about submitting to her man, that her man is now the breadwinner while she's the homemaker? No, she's done none of this. What is her crime that has made people declare that she is now a trad wife, you ask? Doing a cover of a song and looking like this. Everybody was like, trad wife, JoJo's trying to look like that trad wife off TikTok. Oh my goodness. And this has just been an explosion of conversation. And if you're like, Cal, why are you even documenting this sort of stuff? You like talking about subculture. What does this have to do with anything, Cal? Well, my good friend, for the last few months, I've been documenting the rise of conservatism, how people act and dress, and how this all expresses itself within society. So when people were saying JoJo Siwa, this JoJo Siwa is now a trad wife, I was like, I have to look into this. This is so curious. Also, side note, hello there, I am Cal. And if you're like, Cal, where's your curls gone, buddy? It's very warm. I've been working lots of hours and I've been training lots of hours. So I've been wearing a hat most of the time. So it kind of kills my curls off. So now I'm wearing sunglasses to keep my hair propped back whilst I make this video and sweat profusely whilst doing so. Oh goody, back on with the video. I feel to start this story off of how JoJo Siwa is being called a freaking trad wife. We should start back at the beginning of just a basic rundown of who JoJo Siwa is and why people are so shocked about her potentially being a trad wife. Basically, JoJo has been in the public eye since, being a very young little child. And because of this, the internet has seen her grow up lifetime on social media. And naturally, one of those things you discover about yourself as you get older is your sexuality. And for a long time, JoJo has been a proud member of the LGBTQ plus community, sporting looks like this and basically just being unapologetically them. However, recently JoJo has found herself dating a man. This man. Anyways, long story short, when you combine dating a man and making content around that online, making him some food things or whatever, with doing this cover of this song and dressing like this, people put it all together and they were like, trad wife. JoJo has become a trad wife. JoJo is clearly taking inspiration from Betty Davis with her look. Come on, just do one Google of Betty Davis. And team, this really wound me up, by the way. I had a full-on debate with somebody I know. As we all know, the song JoJo covered is literally called Betty Davis Eyes. You can quite literally see from JoJo's hair what JoJo is trying to do here. But my massive hater of a friend was like, nope, that's trad wife core. JoJo even says in this post they took inspiration from Betty Davis for the aesthetic. Is it meant to be a one-of-one cosplay? No, but it's clearly taken inspiration from Betty Davis. Trad wives have hijacked this look to spread their message of traditional gender roles. I am all for critiquing, but this is just mindless critiquing, as this is clearly not a million miles away from looking like Betty Davis. The internet loves to do this. They take words that have meaning and they just throw it at everything that they think vaguely looks like it could be that thing. JoJo isn't talking about submitting to her partner in any way. Just because JoJo is now dating a man doesn't mean she's now this submissive trad wife or anything like that. But I also think what fueled the flames of this is people absolutely hated JoJo's cover.
I really gotta give it up to JoJo Siwa because the only thing that I can hear in my brain for the past 12 hours is Betty Davis eyes!
Girl, that's what you sound like!
Extra mega protection.
Yeah. Betty Davis eyes!
But honestly, again, and this just makes it sound like I'm just one big defender of JoJo. I'm really not, but I'm interested in this conversation because I'm fascinated how JoJo is being labeled a trad wife. Her tone, in all honesty, it just sounds like a very pub or bar open mic night rendition of the original song, because in the original song there's rasp as well. Now, admittedly, JoJo's version has a lot of post-production and like auto-tune on her voice, so it sounds a bit digital and like fried out and just a bit
Betty Davis eyes.
But it's just very painfully average. But that's probably why the internet's ran with it, because it is painfully average. But I feel also JoJo is just one of those people just love to go ha ha hee hee at. I've genuinely seen people make the argument that because now JoJo is dating a man and she's doing videos about cleaning the house and getting up at 5 a.m. and doing nice deeds for her partner, that makes her a trad wife. This is not a trad wife. Oh my goodness. Team. And it stresses me out because we'll dilute words into having no meaning. See, like, this is why I'm passionate about this like I am about punks and goths. We're just using words incorrectly. We really are. Got to crowbar subculture in there somehow. But honestly, making your partner a meal or a snack does not make you a trad wife, does not make you submissive. In a relationship, if you're happy with someone, it's pretty normal to do nice deeds for them. Getting up and tidying your house doesn't make you a trad wife. Now, is there a very interesting conversation to have about JoJo aligning her personal brand with this more mainstream rise in conservatism and the aesthetics and trends around that? Ding, 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 ding. Yes, that is where the interesting conversation is, in my opinion. Here is a take I saw online which gave interesting food for thought. And I'm just blurring their face because they looked pretty young and they didn't look like a content creator. They were just a person voicing their opinion on the internet, so I don't want to put them on blast. Beyond her voice sounding like sandpaper against shredded fingernails, JoJo's immediate abandonment of all queer identity for the trad wife aesthetic is a weirdly calculated move. JoJo is a spectacle artist. She is not musically talented whatsoever and instead takes advantage of shock factor to spread whatever popular and profitable ideas she can. She took advantage of the need for queer visibility in the industry when it benefited her, and now her shift into the trad wife aesthetic is a direct result of the rise in conservatism and its profitability among Americans. Other than hate comments under her videos, I keep seeing things like, "She's glowing because of him. She just needed to find the right man to fix her." Now, this is actually a very interesting conversation because there was this big content creator online who wasn't just another heteronormative, just copy and paste influencer. The fact that JoJo has gone from being loud and proud to being in a relationship with a man has been now used as a case for like the right-wing political and social sphere. And of course, that is not JoJo's fault in the slightest, right? But people are being like, JoJo's now in her feminine era. She's now got that feminine energy. JoJo is being weaponized by just absolute fools to promote their own message. We all know sexuality is a spectrum and it's not just a light switch. You either have to be this or you have to be that. There is far more to it than that, but this portion of people are just being like using JoJo as a case study to discredit people that aren't heteroconformative. You know, if you're not in a relationship, if you girl and not in a relationship with man, it's just because you haven't found the right man. This is all horrible, damaging ideology. And what I also found interesting around these conversations around JoJo Siwa was people sharing thoughts like this.
JoJo Siwa liked and reposted my video yesterday, kind of poking fun at the Betty Davis eyes. And a few of her fans came to her defense in the comments, but I think everybody's missing the reason why she reposted my video. And it's because I start off the video by acknowledging that her strategy worked. If you don't know this about JoJo, which apparently some of her biggest fans don't even realize this, the way that she measures success is through how viral something goes. She talked about this so much when Karma's a Bitch and all of that came out last year, and her music and her crazy dance moves. Her comeback to every criticism was well, are you talking about it? And did you hear the song? And the answer was yes, we did. I'm giving credit where credit is due. I'm acknowledging that JoJo successfully got that song stuck in my head. And there's no part of me that thinks that she does not know that it was sort of rage baity. She intentionally sounded as raspy as possible to get the buzz. And it worked. You're all talking about it.
I have quite literally seen so many people point out that JoJo is just one giant rage baiter. 2 truths and a lie. I've never smoked. I'm pregnant. This song comes out on Friday. Because this is another thing people are just speculating. Oh my goodness, may this level of fame, not that it will, but may this level of fame never ever find me. This level of analysis of anybody's life, it's just too much. It's so intense. Basically, loads of people are being like, JoJo's pregnant, and they're trying to work out whether JoJo is pregnant, okay? And but obviously JoJo just leans into all of this. Like, I think the thing we see time and time again with, you know, people that have been famous since being a kid is it's very normal when you're young to just go through so many different iterations and variants on yourself. And it all does look a little bit performative. Like, I remember when I was an emo back when I was a kid and I wore like the skin tight black jeans and like the black and red shirt. And I was so focused on my look and I'd spend so long on looking a certain way. And now looking back, that is just performative. It's all creating this big singing and dance about how you look rather than like what you're actually, you know, doing within the communities you're interested in. But because JoJo has all this fame and attention, everything she does do, and when she does, you know, experiment with new things, it's also critiqued. She's not a trad wife, it's clear. She's just a marketer and she just does things because she knows they have great virality. Is that ethical? Is that moral? That's another question. But not a trad wife, chat. Come on, let's not just label anybody that dates, I don't know, a man and tidies the house and cooks some food or whatever for someone a trad wife. Then we're just gonna ruin the conversation like how we ruin so many other words. And you can't have accountability when you just dissolve a word into meaningless of someone just dressing up as something. Yes. Is she leaning into the rising conservatism with her dress, with this aesthetic? Yes, but we haven't seen enough information or material to be like, yeah, she's definitely doing all of that, because this is just like a one-off cover. You'd have to see long-term what JoJo does do. So no, JoJo is not a trad wife. That is factually incorrect. Has JoJo switched up her identities quite a lot? Yes. That is true. And on social media, does it make it seem like it's this very sudden, big change? Yes, that's social media, and the way JoJo is going about it is clearly in a way to maximize likes, clicks, and engagement. At the end of the day, you've got to remember, JoJo's, you know, fame, income comes from, you know, media attention. So she is creating scenarios like the Am I Pregnant? To, you know, maximize that. Now, is that ethical? Is that moral? Well, that's up for you to decide. Anyways, I'm Cal. That's Skog. Skog, anything profound or interesting to say today, my friend? Yeah, I like that. What Skog said. Anyways, I'm too warm. I'm too warm now. I'm uncomfortable. Vaguely sticky. Oh boy. Anyways, there'll be another video here if you want to watch another of my videos. JoJo Siwa, not trad wife, confirmed. I've said it, so it must be. This is where JoJo comes out now and starts talking about submitting to her man and how she's the homemaker and he's the breadwinner, despite JoJo being worth probably like 1,000 times, financially speaking, monetary speaking, more than her partner Chris. Anyways, that's my thoughts on that. I'm going now. Goodbye. Sometimes you gotta say goodbye to things you enjoy, or maybe if you didn't enjoy that video, then it's things you don't enjoy, but that's good too, because then you can just cut it off like the head of Hydra. But then it grows back. Hydra, like me, I'll post more videos. Bye.